Hello, here we're going to be graphing a line using a table. So we are asked to graph x equals to -3y plus 6. This is neither in standard form or slope-intercept form. However, for graphing using a table, we don't really need to rewrite it. So the first thing we're going to do is get the x and y axes and a table. So in order to graph a line, you don't need more than 3 points. 2 points to graph and a third one to check your work. So the way graphing using a table works, you pick x or y value to plug in into the original equation. So let's pick first x value as 0. So I'm going to plug in x equals to 0 into the original equation, and we get x equals to -3y plus 6, and instead of x we're going to use 0. This will give us 0 equals to -3y plus 6. Let's subtract 6 on both sides and we get -6 equals to -3y. Let's divide by -3 on both sides and we get -3 goes into -6 positive 2 times equals to -3 divided by -3 is 1y. So when x is 0, y is 2. So our first point is here. When x is 0, y is 2. For the second point, it doesn't matter which number for which variable you choose to substitute into the equation. I can choose y equals to 1 to plug in into the equation, and we will have x equals to -3 times y plus 6, and instead of y we will substitute 1, so we will get x is equal to -3 times 1 is -3 plus 6, and we get x is equal to -3 plus 6 is 3. So when y is 1, x is 3. When y is 1, x is 3. Once you have 2 points, you can draw a line through the point. So here we have the line going through those 2 points. And to pick a third test point, I'm going to look at the graph and see what looks like it's going to give me a whole number. So I'm going to pick this point to test, which is when x is 6, y is 0. So let's plug in x equals to 6 and see if we get a true statement. The equation is x is equal to -3y plus 6, and we get 6 equals to -3y plus 6. We can subtract 6 from both sides and we get 0 equals to -3y. Out of -3, and we get y is equal to 0. So when x is 6, y is 0. It doesn't matter which point you choose to pick, but if I pick something over here, it will give me fractions. So I like to look at the graph and see what will give me whole numbers approximately, because it looks like -3 will also give me a whole number as an answer. Let's just check x equals to -3. So if I substitute -3 instead of x, we get -3 equals to -3y plus 6. Minus 6, we get -9 equals to -3y. Out of -3, and y will be equal to +3. So this point also works. That's all.